Hello, this is Thomas Cobbs Jr. here for my critical assignment, fitness education presentation. At the beginning of the course, we were asked to select one client to stay with us for the entirety of the 8 weeks. Due to circumstances, I had to switch clients. I'll be referring to the first client as client A and my second client as client B. We started off by giving them PAR cues and also a functional movement screening to assess their health and movement. So during these tests for the functional movement screen, they performed a deep squat, the hurdle test, inline lunge, shoulder mobility, shoulder clearing, active straight leg raise, trunk stability, extension clearing, rotary stability, and spinal flexion clearing. The takeaways from client A that she showed a lack of upper body strength. She also showed difficulty in the right leg during the ASLR. She also had greater shoulder mobility in the right shoulder. So the main focus of this program was to mainly increase upper body strength and incorporate some stability aspects as well. The periodization during this program, her goals were to be able to perform 3-5 push-ups at the conclusion of the course. During the FMS, she was unable to perform more than one push-up. She was also wanting to increase in mass. She wanted to bulk up, so just gain size. So I mainly wanted to focus on, with client A resistance-based exercise program, as well as client B. Client A is actually one of my personal training clients at the gym I work at, so I do see her once a week, and she also will be doing resistance training other than when she sees me. The resistance training was 5 days per week. It was the upper body, lower body split with conditioning in between. She was performing upper body resistance training days twice per week and lower body resistance training days once per week, and then conditioning days in between those, so Tuesday and Thursday. And on the weekend, she was recovering, so no exercise, some foam rolling, some static stretching. So this is just an example of the program I laid out for her with mesocycle 1 and 2. I just have an example of, on the left, on the red, is the week number 1. So you can see we have always start with a dynamic warm-up. Never have your client come in cold or just go right into the weights. Always make sure they perform a warm-up. We start off with a modified push-up. So my client would be able to perform push-ups whether it was on her knees or elevated. Next, this is assuming that my client was at the gym, which she will be. TRX band row. Also the shoulder press machine, lat pull down, stretching, and foam rolling to conclude. As you can see on the first mesocycle, the intensity does not reach, or at least on the screen, does not reach anything above 85% of intensity. And then on the second day, you can see the aerobic training. She was I have her jogging just for 20 minutes, 75 to 8% of maximum heart rate. She has a history with track and field, so she does enjoy jogging and just doing cardio resistance. And underneath those, you can see the rest days are the weekends. On the right, you can see the second mesocycle with a main focus of just increasing upper body strength as opposed to upper body strength and stability on the left. As you can see, now we are incorporating barbells. So we're incorporating a little bit more heavier resistance training with different equipment. So the exercise may be the same, we're just adding some different variations to them. And as always, the rest continue to be on the weekends. As you can see, studies that compared linear periodization with non-periodized models have shown linear periodization to be more efficient in producing positive alterations in body composition and maximum strength. And that is according to Prestis et al. 2009. During the first mesocycle, the focus was building a base of stability and strength, while during the second mesocycle, the base was further built upon with the introduction of barbell variation exercises, like I mentioned earlier. The progression, the first mesocycle began with bodyweight exercises, cables, machines, with the intensity never going past 85%. The second mesocycle added different variations of those exercises by using barbells and increasing intensity to 90% or above 90%. High and low impact aerobic exercises or aerobic training to lessen the chance of pain in the joints and the shins. I knew if I only had her doing jogs or running on the treadmill, she may develop some shin pain or discomfort. So intensity wasn't. So what I had her do was use ellipticals, a little bit of swimming now that the weather is pretty as well as the HIIT bike. The intensity for this was increased by adding time, decreasing rest time, and increasing distance. The exercise technique performed by client B were the single leg glute bridge and the single arm dumbbell shoulder press. So according to Toby and Mike 2018, the glute bridge is used to strengthen the hip extensors, which actually for client B, which is my wife, she has a previous injury in her hips. So I knew this exercise, even though it was programmed for client A, was be very beneficial for her. The single leg glute bridge demands stabilization of both the core musculature and hip adductors through isometric contraction. It's a very beneficial exercise. I actually perform this exercise with every single one of my clients, the single leg or the double leg variation. The single arm dumbbell shoulder press, a unilateral shoulder press, produced greater activation of the back stabilizers with no effect on instability, according to him et al. 2005. Again, I love using unilateral exercises because they demand more from the core musculature and for stability purposes. Trunk strengthening can occur when performing resistance exercise for the limbs if the exercises are performed unilaterally. So I always make sure, one, that my clients use single leg, single arm, as well as different planes of motion, sagittal, frontal, and transverse. The YouTube link is linked down below. So next, my application of faith. This course, exercise and physical education, taught me the importance of proper coaching technique during resistance training. So I am a certified personal trainer with a NASM PES classification, as well as a exercise science bachelor's degree. So it's very, very common for me to just get complacent with my training style and making sure that it's like, okay, good job. But I have to make sure I'm attentive to my clients while they're performing exercises. I make sure I give the proper cues, as well as making sure that they're doing the right form and technique, which I enjoyed with this class is because the exercise and technique, Quizlets that we did at the beginning were very, very beneficial. I learned a lot every single week. So as a trainer, I must constantly keep up with current research and techniques that will best help my clients reach their fitness goals. So if I'm stuck in my old ways from my undergraduate days of learning how to do things, a lot of things have happened since 2017, which is the year I graduated. So I really enjoyed the courses, this course specifically, because it forced me to use peer-reviewed scholarly journals, making sure that everything is up to date and, it's actually proven. So the faith integration verses I've selected are Philippians 4:13, 1 Timothy 4:8, and 2 Timothy 2:2. The first one, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Of course, they're referring to Jesus or God. This is actually my favorite Bible verse because growing up, I realized that, I can't do anything without the help of God or without the help of the one who encourages me and the one who actually gives me the ability to do what I do. So I have to make sure that I don't look at myself as, oh, look what I can do. It's all about look what God is able to have me to do, for him and to use him for his glory. For physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come. This is a great verse because as experts in the fitness field, health and fitness field, we have to realize that we may be, knowledgeable and maybe some of the healthiest people around, but if our souls aren't, connected to God, or our spirituality isn't right, our relationships aren't great, then physical wellness, physical training, it's not gonna be worth it. Especially in the next life, we can pass on and just have the best things we want physically, but it's not worth it if you're not right with God. And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to entrust to reliable people who will be qualified to teach others. I like this one because it encourages me to not just keep all the information I've learned throughout the years to myself, but also teach it to those who can teach, and they can eventually teach others as a continuous cycle. In high school, I had a personal trainer, and he is the reason why I decided to get into the fitness industry and health and fitness. And he's the reason why I'm currently now a personal trainer. I've encouraged others to, if they want to, and pursue that same career and teach others. So I really want to focus on not just keeping all the knowledge and be like, hey, I have all the answers, by giving everyone I know the answers so they can learn themselves and incorporate it into their lives, and then as well teach others eventually. Here are a list of my resources, my references. Thank you very much.